Hey everybody, Henry Finn here. Today you're going to learn about the 5 levels of videography and how you can use that to create a roadmap for your life. All right, so the first level is the noob, the complete beginner. You probably have watched movies, you like movies, you've watched tons of videos on Facebook, I'm sure, but you've never held a camera, you've never tried to tell a story with video, other than maybe with your phone or something. And so at this point, when you're a noob, your main focus should just be on learning. You know, there's the key elements that you have to learn, which is the concept stage. What is the idea that you're trying to execute? The pre-production stage, which is how to plan for what you're going to shoot. The production stage, which is the actual shooting, the funnest part, by the way. And then post-production, which is like editing, sound, effects, things like that, graphics. And so each of those phases has their own levels of mastery, and to be honest, there's people that spend their whole life just learning that phase, whether you're a producer or a director or a cinematographer, you know, editor, the list goes on and on. But when you're a videographer, you have to learn enough of all those phases to be able to put together a complete package by yourself. So if you're in the noob stage, you need to really focus on learning and be humble and really try to just get as much experience on other people's productions as possible too. You know, when I first got started, my mentality was I'm going to work for free for anybody and do any position, and I'm going to just do it. And so, you know, I've gotten coffee for people. I've been a sound person. I've done camera. I've done lighting. I basically did everything that I could just to get that experience. And as you grow, you learn that you can actually start charging people faster than you think, you know? But you got to be honest with yourself. You can't learn fast if you're not honest with where you're at, you know? Even if you're a filmmaker, you know, there's a lot of people. I went to film school for a little bit, you know, and I'm a self-taught filmmaker. But there's a lot of filmmakers that get a little snobby and they don't want to, or they want to separate their art from the art of videography. And it's kind of weird to think that like you're selling out doing videography when you're working at a Starbucks 9 to 5 or working at some job where you're helping some corporation's agenda. So why not just own your own business and get paid to do what you love and utilize those skills? So basically, again, if you're a noob, just focus on learning and the opportunity will come the faster you learn. So the next level is the beginner. The beginner has some experience handling a camera. Maybe you're a photographer, maybe you're a hobbyist, but you've never actually learned how to put together a story with video from beginning to end in a way that is professional, which means that you have a higher standard for the lighting, for the sound, for the camera movements, and also a storytelling mind that is focused on, you know, branding and marketing and achieving the goals of your clients. So the beginner is probably charging just a couple $100s to under $1,000 per job. You know, you should have a website by now. You probably have, you know, a simple demo reel and a couple pieces in your portfolio. And you're just starting to put the pieces together in terms of how to tell a story that's not just for the storytelling standpoint, but for the purpose of achieving a goal that a business or a brand is looking to do, whether it's increase their sales or visibility or just tell their story in a way that will make their customers become more loyal or increase their trust. The intermediate level, you usually have a portfolio of, you know, at least a dozen clients that you've serviced. You're probably charging a couple $1,000s to about $5,000 per job, and you've developed some sales skills, because a lot of times to get to that point where you're charging, you know, thousands of dollars per video, you got to have the sales skills to convince somebody to do it, you know, because for a lot of people at that price point, it's a lot of money to them, and there's a challenge of matching the budget that they give you with the expectations you have. So that's kind of like the first part of being an intermediate videographer, is learning how to more accurately assess the needs of a business and then balance that with your requirements to achieve those goals. So, you know, at that point, you definitely have to be comfortable handling a camera with, you know, lights and sound. And when I say lights, I don't mean like a film scene or whatever, but I mean at least, you know, 3-point lighting. You could do, you know, interviews, you can do B-roll stuff, you can do basic scenes with those kind of skills, and you can do it all by yourself, you know, and you know that what good quality is, you know, which later I'll teach you how to figure that out. So for the advanced videographer, you're charging at least $5,000 to $10,000 per job. You probably have a niche that you've become reputable in. You probably have an idea of what type of clients you want to work with, and you definitely have the skills to not just do it yourself, but now you're putting together teams of people that work with you or work for you, and you're able to direct them to do their jobs in a way that is effective and efficient. So the fifth level of videography is really the kind of the agency level, where you're charging, you know, over $10,000 per job, and basically at that point, when you're charging somebody over $10,000 to sell them on that, you're not just selling them on the video, you have to sell them on some of the branding and marketing. You have to be able to convey a bigger vision of not just the video, but how that video plays with the rest of their marketing efforts, you know. So for me, I had to learn a little bit about social media marketing, about email marketing, and even like web development and things like that, because if somebody's gonna give you $10,000 or more, they want to know that that video is not going to just go down the drain. A lot of people, the mistake they make, why they can't get consistent referrals or repeat business from people, is because they sell them on doing this video, but you know, the video doesn't go anywhere after it's shot because, you know, they don't have the marketing plan behind it to make it successful. And then from a client standpoint, they're like, oh, I just spent $10,000 and I didn't really get anything other than, you know, something to masturbate to. And, you know, basically that's not gonna do the job. You know, you gotta be able to tell them not just what video they need to shoot, but how to get it out there. And, you know, don't worry, like, it seems like a really big thing, and it does take a little while to learn, but before you get there, you can learn to build partnerships and collaborations with other experts in those industries to help you be able to sell that. So that's the 5 levels of videography. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what level of videographer you are, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them. I'll make sure to get to them for you. Thanks for watching. Click on the subscribe button below and check us out at videographyacademy.com, where you're going to get the latest and greatest news, tips, and tricks on how to supercharge your videography business, make a lot of money, and also get paid to do what you love.